Welcome to Reread. We're on Book 4 of the Junior Jane Knight series, this time written by Rebecca Muesta, and this one's called Anakin's Quest. This happens months later, and I'm trying to work out this timeline here because I'd forgotten that there was a break. I knew there was some break, but not months later. And it seems like Anakin's going back to school. I mean, it doesn't seem, he is. Leia and Han are dropping him off. It doesn't sound like Jason and Jane are there. They're on another vacation. So this probably happened later, like maybe after the Diversity Alliance storyline. Again, I need to read the Diversity Alliance to make sure, but the reason I say that is Zek is mentioned in this. Like Peckham says that Zek helped him install a new hyperdrive recently. Well, we do know that Zek and Peckham were spending some time together. I believe it's the second one. So it would make a little bit of sense that he was helping him with the hyperdrive and everything. And why isn't Zek there at that time? Well, he doesn't always have to be with Peckham at every waking hour. But it seems like this may be happening after the Diversity Alliance. But I will definitely check that out when I read that series. But I found this, I'm just trying to get these in a correct timeline now has been something I've always been wanting to do. Like a long time ago when I was doing my first reviews, we had a big discussion on where this fits in the timeline. And I truly did not know. I'd always thought it could go around the Lost Ones, but then was stood corrected. And now I think I got it, but I want to make sure I get it all the way. So I'm definitely picking up all these cues on when things were happening and put things in order. Now, this one, Peckham has a stowaway on here, Old Deer. I like Old Deer. He's basically the scalawag, the little negative, guy who's always he wants to be a Jedi. He doesn't have any Force ability, at least we don't think so at this point. They do a good job teasing you that he may have Force abilities. But right now, Luke can't feel anything in him, and he wants to be a Jedi. But at the same time, he's not mature. He, makes fun of Master Ikrit. He doesn't think he's a Jedi Master. He, he's just a sour lemon the entire adventure. And so you kind of don't like him, but he's kind of the negative guy in it. And there needs to be a kid like that in a children's book. He's fine. He's a fine character. Now in this one, Anakin goes to Dagobah because he's still struggling with his forename, and he knows that Luke went through some trials in the cave of Dagobah. Luke's like, I ain't sending you to Dagobah. Your mom will kill me. But Master Ikrit says, hey, I'll go with him. Will that be okay? He's like, well, okay, with another Jedi Master, sure. And as they travel over there, Ikrit gives them his origin story. Peckham is the one traveling him over there, but Ikrit can't really drive any of the new ships. He said he's not used to control. So Peckham flies them over, and during that, Ikrit tells about when a Jedi came to his world. And, they were a bunch of weavers. They weaved different things, cloth and fabrics and stuff. And he decided that he would help this Jedi Master find someone strong in the Force, which ended up being him. And so this Jedi Master meant a lot to him. Well, later on, we go to Dagobah. We have a lot of adventures. They encounter some of the creatures on Dagobah, one of the little knobby spider things. And later on, Old Deer gets stuck in the swamp. That's why he stowed away, like he always does, and got in a little bit of trouble. Peckham is basically fixing, because how they landed in the swamp, Peckham's kind of worried about his old ship falling apart. So that kind of puts him out of the picture in a good way. Because I know that the author didn't want Peckham running around too with him. So it keeps him busy. It makes sense. They finally get to the cave. Old Deer goes in and sees nothing, and Ikrit goes, that's correct. You saw nothing because that cave offers nothing for you. It has nothing for you. But then Tahiri sees something, Anakin sees something, and basically he passed his trial. And I guess, I don't remember, but I think maybe at this point he's kind of gone at peace with being the grandson of Darth Vader. But at the very end, Ikrit wants to go by Yoda's old hut. Now, they don't know what it is at first, but then realize it's Yoda's old hut. It's run down. It's kind of sad because I don't think anyone's visited the old hut before. And I was hoping it was even more run down than before because the swamp probably claimed that sucker over the past 20 years. But either way, I'm fine with it still being around. And Ikrit kind of turns a shade of black, and they don't know what's going on. And then he reveals that Yoda was the Jedi Master and his Jedi Master as well. It's really good. It's good for a children's book. It's really good. It gave us an origin story. It gave us a story about Yoda, which back then was not allowed. But I guess it just had Yoda included in the story. It wasn't physically about Yoda, which is why Lucasfilm approved it, or George approved it. And so it's overall kind of touching. And again, Ykrit, we get a little backstory from him. So pretty good so far. What's the next one like? Well, find out next time.